it's still winter time and getting dark really early, and it's coming up to cold temperatures again for the next couple of weeks. So what I'm trying to do is get a few more tasks done on the K100 project. Now I know it's running on 3 cylinders, and I know pretty sure that it's just one injector that is just not cleaned out nicely. It needs a bit more of a takeoff, flushing through and firing off. So I'll do that later. I still think all the electrics are good, which means I can put back on the ignition coil cover I've got here in my hands. This was terribly filthy when I took it off, and it needs a bit of a clean before it goes back on. And all I'm trying to do is when I diagnose something, I take something off and I try and clean it and put it back on better than before, until I decide kind of how I want to have the bike set up. Now, in that vein, I'm going to give this a clean with some soapy water, and then after that, I'm going to use some black trim wax for cars, which brings back faded plastics and restores black exterior trim. And hopefully that's going to bring back a bit more of a kind of shine to this and just make it look a bit nicer. So what I'll do is I'll start bringing you in close, start cleaning, and you can watch from there. Okay, so just washed it all down with soapy water. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give this a rinse under the tap to get rid of all the soap residue. Okay, you can actually see now it's clean, quite a lot of discoloration in it. You've got some streaks down here where it looks like something hot has kind of hit and run down. You've got some very splattering here that looks like it could be some kind of road ground that was just welded itself to the plastic, but the plastic itself just looks a little bit worse for wear. So I'm not quite sure what's come up against it. You can definitely see some marks along here, along the edge of here. And what I'm hoping is with a little bit of the trim restorer here, we can get that looking a lot nicer and back to some kind of black finish, rather than this, I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but slightly off black to almost grey. Now, all I'm supposed to do is just pour a little bit onto the cloth here. Here we go. And effectively, this is almost effectively a dye of some type. You just kind of rub everything down in a nice smooth motion. You can see it's covering up the marks along this edge here. Doesn't take very long because it's quite a small piece of plastic, and I don't need very much on here. Now what I should have done was put gloves on before this, so I don't get a little bit of dye on my hands, but I was not smart, and so I think I'm going to end up with a little bit of dye on my hands. So there's just a couple of areas where I just need a touch more. Just around here where I was holding it. And just and there's little screw holes. Hopefully you can see how much of an improvement that already is. Now I'm going to leave that to dry, then after that I should be able to put that back on the bike. So it's been raining for quite a little while now, and what I'm hoping is I can get this quickly on in between the raindrops and clear off a bit of space in my kitchen from all the parts I've got off this bike that, well, I've been diagnosing and taking stuff off so I can get easy access. So this can go back on now, hopefully, and it should just sit nice and easily there. Yeah, there we go. One, two, three, so I'm not sure if I'm going to run this full time, but for now I'd rather have it on the bike looking clean than just scattered around my house, and invariably I would probably end up losing parts, so I don't really want to do that. I can avoid it. Once this is all in here, I've still got to then go on and sort out this injector, at least I think it's this injector, and also see what my situation is like with the front brake. Now it's due to rain again today, so what I'll probably do is end it here. You can see how that's looking a lot cleaner. The actual previous owners put a little BMW badge there, black on black, which is quite nice. I don't know if that's stock, but that's all nice and secure. We know they're all good, so now it's on to the rest of the bike and start diagnosing those faults. But for now I'll leave it here. It's just a short one to see where I'm up to. And hopefully I'll be back soon once the rain kind of lets off a bit and the weather clears, on either the brakes or the injector or the radiators check on coolant. So one of those jobs I'll get to as soon as I can. Cheers.